Penmore Physiotherapy and Rehabilitation Clinic is the first of its kind in the Gambia. We have inpatient service and outpatient services. Penmore admits patients and they have intensive rehabilitations. That means treatment 3 times a day for 5 days, from Mondays to Friday, and on Fridays they go to their families to spend time with them, to have family. Our patients come on regular appointments, probably 2 or 3 times in a week for treatment. We treat patients with arthritis, with back pain, stroke patients, fractures or after fracture operation, paralysis of all types, and we do treat both young and old patients. Penmore Physiotherapy gives quality physiotherapy treatments to Gambians because we are qualified physios from different parts of the world.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
So imagine $25, you get a chance to win this. So we'll see who. Now you could do it right now, and you simply go to our website and sign up. Okay, so we'll have another chance before we do the final raffle. We will ask all of you to, give it another thought. We have received a few donations, and the thing is, if you do 25, you get 1 ticket. If you do 50, you get 2 chances, 2 tickets, right? So, and we need to raise some funds for that. So we're just waiting on those guys. Who has the first question about what's happening today? Anybody? Yeah, go ahead.
Are we going to do it today, or we're just signing up for like, when it's going to happen?
The raffle?
No.
For the classes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want all of you to sign up today. When we're done, all those computers will be open, and there's a link there that says "Go through code," one of the events. You will go in there and you can sign up. And then I'll follow up with you about scheduling it and what we do next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're going to sign up. All of you are going to sign up, right? Yeah? Okay. All right. We will do that. We will sign up today, and then we'll start the class probably in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. So, is anybody in there? Out there? Let them know that they can come in. So feel free to move forward if you want to, because if you can see where you are, that's okay. I'm going to turn this light up. Is that still visible? I'm assuming? Good. All right, so we're going to kick this up. I want to thank all of you for coming. And this is the raffle I talked about, right? Who is going to win the iPhone, right? I'm going to bet myself because I want a new iPhone. So again, when you put in $25, we'll do the raffle at the end. You may go home with an iPhone. All right. So, you okay? Okay. So I want to welcome all of you again. My name is Joseph Jassy. For some of you that don't know me, some of you know me as Mohammed. And I want to welcome all of you for joining us today. I very much appreciate your time and very excited about the youth training center that we're going to put today. At the end of the day, by the time you leave, everybody here will know exactly why we're doing this. You will know exactly what you can do here. You will also understand exactly what we're going to do here. Because this facility is essentially for you. Okay? So I want you to tell all your friends, bring all your friends, let them know. So we're going to do that. Here is a good summary. After the keynote, which is the welcome address, I want to acknowledge our donors and people that have continued to support us throughout the program. And we're going to talk about our volunteers. You know, I want all of you to really think about volunteering. It's very, very important when you start applying for college, when you start applying for a job. All those things are very, very important. It's a good way to learn and give back to the community. And then we'll talk about, you know, why we're here. Why do we want a youth training center? People may be asking, why do we need one? So we'll talk about that as well. And then we'll do, we are expecting a very important guest today. She'll be around 4 p.m. And she will talk to us about the things that she does and what she believes in. And this is really a good fit for what we're trying to do. All right. So, Mindsight mentors. Who knows or remembers when Mindsight was formed? Anybody? Anybody knows? Okay. You're not gonna be, you're out of it, you know it. Anybody remembers when Mindsight was formed? Yeah, when?
2016.
2015? Close?
2016.
2016? Close? Yeah?
2012?
2012. It's right there.
Okay.
We started in 2012, but we officially kicked off in 2014. And for 10 years, we've been moving from one library to another, from one facility to another. And that was very, very disruptive. So we'll take a look at why that is important. So, on the previous slide, I forgot to mention that we have other leaders that are joining us here today from the community. We have ICOPS leadership. We have Gambia Talents Promotion, Washington State African Center, and we have Northwest Gambian Association. They will each have a few minutes to say something about how we can all work together to bring about opportunities for the youth. All right. So, I don't know if you can read that from that distance. I cannot. Can you all read that? Too small, right? Yeah, it's too small. Okay, I'll read it for you. It's too small. So as you can see, we don't even have a good projector. Okay? So if somebody wants to step up and donate a projector to Mindsight, we would appreciate it. We don't even have a lead screen. We're using the wall. So if somebody wants to step in and sponsor a projector screen, we would appreciate that. But what this is a list of people that have donated to Mindsight. This is the Platinum Plus, and this is Microsoft, the company that I work for, donated over $15,000 worth of software. Not the cash, but they gave us Microsoft Office 365 Premium. And if we were to buy that, it would cost about $25,000 and $11,000 a month in licensing. So we spoke to the Microsoft Philanthropy. We told them we were trying to do this. They said, oh yeah, we do this already for non-profit organizations. So they donated that work, $50,000 plus. And we very much appreciate that. Oh, it's for my camera. I'll get you. The other thing is that, can you still hear me?
No, just hold both together.
Okay. The other thing is, so we're very much appreciative of Microsoft Philanthropy for this great support. What that means is that now we have the infrastructure to really provide the training that the kids need, which means we can teach them Azure, we can teach them Office, we can teach them Power Platform, we can teach them Dynamics. We have the infrastructure. And the goal is by the time they graduate from high school or college, we want them to be certified, right? We want them to pursue that and begin to build solutions. And if that is what they're passionate about, we have the infrastructure to do that. So I'm very much appreciative of what Microsoft does, and my colleague here, Dan Foley, from Microsoft as well. So thank you. I know you're one of the employees. So we're very much appreciative of that. So that's 15,000 in software. The other company that is in that category is Center for Global Development. Center for Global Development is a company based in Washington, D.C. One of our directors, Suleiman Jiba, works for that company. And they donated all those desktop computers that you see, 15 of them. And they paid for shipping, shipped them from DC to my house. So, if you were to take all those 15 computers, the desktop, the ones at the bottom, and put monetary value, it's more than $50,000. Yeah? So we're very, 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 very much appreciative of what Center for Global Development has done. So that's the platinum level. And then the other levels is the silver partners. And these are customers and partners who have donated anywhere between $600 to $1,000. And that list right now is Oriental African Minimum, which is Jundu's store. So they donated $600 in our fundraiser campaign, and we appreciated that very much. The other category, which is the bronze category, these are companies that have donated and individuals that have donated between $300 and $500. And in that category, we have Allison and Claudia Singh, the late Claudia Allison back there, who chipped in $500. Every year he's been donating for a very long time. We have Gam Direct, which is Sidi Kinte and his company, donated in that category. And then we have Chemistry Management Associates, which is Baba Dalo and his partners. And then the last one there is Texito Solutions, which is Cherno Jan and Isanojan. Okay? So those are the bronze donors that have been given us in that range. And then the last category, too many to list here, but there's a lot of people in the community that have donated from $10 to $200. We couldn't list all of them. This money is what we have used to buy those monitors that you see over here. Okay? We use that money to buy the mouse, the keyboards, a lot of other things to support the facility. Our goal when we started was $15,000. We didn't raise that much money. We raised about $4,000. And with that $4,000, we used that money to buy the screens. So, I want to thank all of you for your help and support. Some of you here that are donors, you know who I'm talking about. And I want you to know that without your support, we would not have been able to do this. We still need help, but we want to start with what we have, with where we are. Okay? And then we'll just continue to see what we can do. So we appreciate your support very much. And before I move on to the next slide, I want all of us to really give all these donors an applause and say, thank you for your donation. All right, so here is the next thing. How do one become into this category, right? How to become a partner or move to the next level? Here is the categories that we have. We send this out to the community and we say, here's our partnership levels. If you contribute a certain amount, we will list you on our website. If you do XYZ, we will give you access to the facility. And this is our first round. We're going to continue to do that to see how much partnership we can create across the company. All right. And in the name of partnership, and before I also continue, where is it? Very much appreciate Gambia Talent Promotion. We met with them last week for the first time. At least I met with him last week for the first time to get to know what they are doing, to understand how we can work together. And I can't tell you how excited we are about the opportunity to really bring forces together and collaborate, avoid duplicity, and see how we can supplement each other. That's the only way that we can make progress. And with that conversation, they were able to, this PA system that we're using right there is from them. We would have rented one, or we would have paid somebody to do that. But once we connected with them, they said, oh yeah, we have a PA system, you can use it. We said, oh, we have sanitizers and masks, we can use it. So we said, okay, great. So that's what partnership can do. So we're very much appreciative of that. All right, moving on. I want to celebrate our volunteers. This is very, very important. Let's take a look. When we acquired this place, we asked the community for help. We asked them to come over and help us put these things together. And we had a few people showed up. I know you can't read it because of the lights and all that stuff, but we have a group of 6 that showed up. And here is what they did. I just want to play this video. If it plays, we'll give it a sec to see. All right, it's going to take its time. This laptop is a little bit slow. But we appreciate the volunteers for joining us and for helping us. And we cannot operate without volunteers. That's just what it is. We can't. While that's taking its time, it looks like it's buffering. I can see it moving. We'll give it a minute to see if it will load. Maybe I will just skip it. How are we doing on time anyway? I'm not keeping track of time. How are we doing on time?
We're doing good.
4.
4? Yeah. All right. Okay. Our guest speakers should be here momentarily, and I want to make sure I cover this. So I'm going to skip that video because it's not playing. Let's take a look at a few slides. I don't know if you can see this, but right here on this screen is, last year we held 2019, a robotics class experimentation. And we brought the kids to learn how to build robots. And right there you see Daniel Foley and his daughter that travel all the way every Saturday from Redmond to Linwood, to Montlake Terrace, to Everett, to Mokotio, to Shoreline. Wherever we wanted to go, they were okay with it. And so they teach these kids how to build robots. And this, you can see, when they began, the kids really have no idea. By the time they were done, the kids were able to build robots that actually did something. And that was so remarkable to see. There's a video here, I don't know if it's gonna play, that actually showed some of the activities and the achievements. Okay, this is a short one, I'm gonna see if it will play. And it was really good to see that. And I wanna thank them for really doing and being part of my community. So I'm going to skip that, and the videos are not playing. I will send them to all of you. We started with a very large group. I think it was 9 or 11 to 12 students, but we ended up with 6. Some of the kids figured out it wasn't something they wanted to do or something that they were interested in, so they had to drop. But the 6 that stayed really took it all the way to the end. And we celebrated them too, with some cake and all that stuff. So like I said at the beginning, The Girls Who Code Club that I just mentioned, whether you are interested in that or not, I want you to register for that and then figure out whether it's for you or not. You have no way of knowing without actually trying. Okay? All right. So, I want to celebrate our volunteers. Here you see, on the very far left, Abdul. Last 2020, he spent every Saturday. We wanted to experiment what it would take to teach applications to adults who felt like they needed a refresher. We are dedicated to kids, but the parents need help too. So we did an experiment, and Abdul spent every Saturday teaching his parents Excel. Well, guess what, guys? Some of the parents were able to use the skills they acquired from that class to manage their businesses, right? To be more confident in what they do. So we're going to continue to do that. And so, Abdul, thank you very much. I truly appreciate your partnership. If you raise your hands for people who know who it is right there. And then we also have kids. Last year we experimented on another thing, and which was, can we offer classes every day? So we had 11 kids from High School, Skyline High School, that volunteered to do that. So we ran classes Monday through Sunday, 6 to 7:30. Algebra, math, science, history, English, you name it. But we didn't have enough students. So the tutors will come in, sometimes there's no student. Okay? And so we know we were not reaching a lot of the community, but we appreciate them. They couldn't make it here today. We are expecting them in the next event. And the list goes on. Okay? These are all kids in high school. Now we choose to have kids teach kids because it resonates better. Okay? We have kids teach kids. If you're in high school and you think you want to teach something, I would want you to volunteer and teach. I said before, it looks good in your resume, it looks good when you're looking for work, and it also looks good in your college application. Okay? So if you want to volunteer anytime to do that, you can do that. So finally, we're very proud of all the volunteers. Can we give them one round of applause, please? All right. I want to celebrate the Mindsight team. This is very important. How much do you think they get paid to do their job? You. How much do you think they get paid?
I don't know.
That's fair. You don't know. What about you? Just guess. You don't know? Okay. You don't want to guess? Yeah?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. The only thing they get paid is thank you. Okay? So right here is my board of directors. We're looking for 3 more to join. We will be posting things out there. We're looking for people in certain areas who are interested and passionate about this to join the board. We want to diversify the board a little bit to include other people. Okay? So when we post it, if you're interested or know somebody, please join us. But I'm very much appreciative of these guys that have been with us since 2014. Okay? And falling, and we rise and we fall together. They give us advice. They say, do this, do that. And we've been really working with them. So very much appreciate their time. And one of them is here. One of them is over there. But I want to give a call out to this guy, Allison Singh, who is my personal advisor. We met at a Starbucks. We're just talking, and then we connected. And before you know it, we became friends. He became my advisor. I told him what I did, and he was passionate about it, and there we go. Since then, he has been very, very supportive. We have become very, very good friends. So, Allison, I want to thank you. Everybody join me in saying thank you. All right. here is the board of, the technical directors. These guys too have been with me since 2014. On the right is Suleiman, who is not here, who is in Washington, D.C. And then we have Cyril, who is not here, Abdul Karim, and myself. So we've been running Mindsight since 2012, on and off. What we want to do now, obviously, we need more people. We want more people to join the team and help us in other areas. So if you're interested, we have already posted this and we would like you to jump into that opportunity. All right? And our interns. For the first time we have interns. We're encouraging everybody. We posted stuff to the community and say, we want kids to sign up for interns. It's non-paid, but we expect them to learn and grow in that process. And right now we have only 2 interns. And one of our very first intern is Aliyu Samate. All these computers that you see here, when he started, he didn't know anything about that. But he worked with his mentor, Suleiman, and he was able to enroll all these computers into Microsoft Intune. I was talking to him the other day, he's like, oh, what is the boot sequence? Oh, this one is not right. And I'm looking at him like, what? Right? So he has picked up so much. And so that's what we want all of you to do. So think about ways in which you can volunteer or become an intern. Ali, you want to say a few things? All right. Yes, your mic. So Ali here is our intern, a very first intern here at Mindsight. And you can take that off. Yeah, come over here. Say a few things. I want you to tell the audience about your experience, what you're learning, and what's your takeaway?
Okay. Gary?
Yeah, okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Joseph, for the welcoming. I am Mindsight's first IT support intern, and we've already started. I've learned a lot of things. How to enroll computers, technical issues, wiring issues. I was able to enroll all of these desktops that are here, working on the laptop soon, and it's been helping my analytic skills and all that stuff. So I would encourage anyone here, if you're interested in computers, you want to grow your skills and analytically, all that stuff, I recommend this. Yeah.
All right. And you can turn it on. All right, so I would, a couple of things we're going to do is talk about why I want us to take just a couple of minutes. I want to acknowledge that our guest speaker is in the room. And I want us to take just a few minutes for me to just say hello, and then we will reconvene. I have a few more slides that I want to go through. I also want her to understand why we're doing what we're doing. Then I'll hand her over the floor to talk to us about her take on what we're trying to do and how we can work together, and some advice from her, okay? So let's take just a 2 minutes break, if you will, and then we'll resume. Is that okay with everybody? Yeah. All right, so if you need to use the restroom, it's right here. Yeah, let me check with you on that. And I want to thank you here before we head over to our special guest. I want to say thank you for your attention. I'm going to introduce our special guest. And before I do that, I have a few things to say about her. The first thing is I wrote to the district. And I say, hey, look, this is what we're trying to do. And I need a leader to come from your organization to come and speak to my committee. The next day I got a reply. They said, hey, now Representative April Black will come to your event. I was so excited. I mean, I didn't know how to break dance, but I think I attempted to do some break dancing. I said, well, this is great. And so, in introducing April Black, there's a few things I want to say about her, so you guys would know why this is a good fit, and why your presence here is so important. Here it goes. I'm going to read this, okay? Okay. So after being raised on the south side of Chicago, Representative April Byrd moved to the Northwest to attend Oregon State University. You hear me? Good. Where she was elected as the first black and youngest student body president. Okay? Soon after that, she was appointed by the governor of Oregon as a student representative to the Oregon State Board of Higher Education. Today, she is the first black woman to represent the 44th District of Washington in the State House of Representatives. State of Representatives, House of Representatives. Representative Byrd is a former small business owner, a former Mill Creek Planning Commissioner. She has worked in aerospace as the Boeing project manager and has served on the Edmond School Board. Currently, she is an Everett School Board Director, where she has pushed for updated textbooks, better technology, vocational education, and has helped families get through COVID-19. So guess what? She's one of us. Please help me in welcoming Representative April Byrd to
So, hi everyone. Joseph, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I am beyond happy to be here. My name is Representative April Byrd. Rep Berg is kind of how people know me. I just want everybody to get excited because I'm excited to be here. When Joseph sent the invitation, it was probably the highlight of my and my staff's day. And I say that because of the work you do. So I'll give you a secret. When you send a note to someone in the House of Representatives, a lot of eyes get on it. And so a lot of people say, wait a minute, who's this? What are they doing? And immediately, everybody in the office said, oh, you got to go. They're doing good work. They're doing good work in your neighborhood. Can you believe the amazing amount of lives and student lives they're touching? And you have to go and welcome and ribbon cut and be there. So Joseph, I'm here because of you and the amazing work that you're doing. So can everybody just give Joseph a round of applause? And part of what really struck us was the mission of Mindsight. And that mission of giving students the tools they need to ignite their spark. Let me say that again. The tools you need and that you need and that you need to ignite your spark. And it's not just one tool. It's not singular. It's not one pathway. When I looked at the mission on the website and when I listened to the presentation here today, I saw multiple pathways to ignite that spark. And that's why right now, right here today is so important. There was a seed that Joseph had, a seed of what could be. What could be. And that seed didn't have anywhere to be planted and grow in a meaningful way to ignite across the community, right? So you're moving from library to library, place to place. People are trying to find you. And guess what? It's still growing. It's still growing. It's still going. But now, right here, we have a place to plant that seed and watch it grow. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm excited. That said, I want to tell you a couple of things about the legislature, about you guys are all my boss. Let me just put it to you real, right? So every one of you, I have 70,000 bosses, and you're all one of them. That said, the majority of our time in the legislature is spent on education. And you might ask why? Why would you, there's lots of stuff. There's roads, there's bridges, there's lots of things that your state reps could be doing. Why so much time on education? Well, it's because of our Constitution of this state. It says our paramount duty, our number one duty. Can anybody guess what it is? Just the number one thing we have to focus on? Any guesses? What's that?
Teaching.
Teaching, education. It's our paramount duty by the Constitution of this state. So you're sitting somewhere in a place, in a space that's here, and it's going to be nourished and funded because it's our paramount duty as residents of this state, being here. And as a state legislator, I spend a huge amount of time working on education issues, funding education, writing education policy, and spending time on capital budgets that include schools. Because we know that universal learning has to be available to everyone, and that will take money and funding and space. And so Joseph has hit upon something with Mindsight, that really addresses two of our biggest issues in education right now. One is an opportunity gap, and two is a shortage of skilled STEM workers. And that's why this space, this place, your presence is so important. And so I'm going to tell you a couple things that you might already know, things that you might learn, just about why mentorship and volunteering and funding and being a student here is so important. So number one, this space, you've moved, I think it was 7 times in 10 years. So clearly having a permanent space is important so that we can have organizations and programs like this grow and flourish. But number two, we need volunteers. We need folks to come in, put their hand up, and say yes to that volunteer opportunity. Now, some of you, especially my first, second, third, fourth rows, might be saying, yep, everybody needs a volunteer. You know, look to your left, look to your right. No, you need to look in the mirror, because I'm going to tell you a story that'll be hopefully powerful about why everybody in here can be a volunteer and a mentor. So Joseph said I have 6 kids, and I do, and they're amazing. And one of my kids graduated from the Foster School of Business as well as the IS School at UW. I had another kid from UW too. She did economics and public policy. But my one that went into data analytics, tech, well, how he got in, the secret to how he got in was him being a mentor. He was approached his freshman year of high school, actually it was more like the end of his 8th grade year, to be a mentor to a young person who was at risk. Now, my child, he's amazing, but he was, a football player, wore clothes I didn't really like, hung out with friends didn't really care for, but he was a good kid, and he was kind of good at math. Well, this teacher said, you're good at math, this kid is making some bad choices, can you help this child? And my son said, well, I'm on the football team, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. And of course, as a freshman, and I don't know if for the parents out there, when your kid's a freshman playing any sport, they're going to be professional, right? That's a given. They're going to go on it. Well, of course they're not, but my kid thought he was. So he kind of hesitated. Luckily, he didn't say no, because from mentoring that young man, and actually mentoring him for 3 solid years to where he went from being at risk to not being at risk, that became the cornerstone of his college application, and that became the vehicle for him to not go into sports like he thought he would back in freshman year, but to go into tech. And now he is making way more money than I could have ever dreamed of, being a data analytics professional for a very big firm in California. And that's what I mean by, when I say volunteers, it's not just your parents or your aunties or your uncles or your big sister or big brothers, it's you. You can all volunteer right now to be a peer mentor with someone who might need a skill that you have. And honestly, they might just need a friend to do something with. So becoming a volunteer, becoming a mentor, being in a place, in a space, in a place like this, but then also understanding that places like this need funding, and they need money. And the best way, the only way to get that is through stories. And sharing your stories, sharing your lived experience, telling people about the successes you've had here, telling your friends and family, going on social media and saying to your neighbors, your classmates, come here. We have a youth training center right here in Everett. And that, I will tell you, is amazing. We don't have anything like that. And because that's why you started it, right, Joseph? You're like, there's nothing like it. But it's your stories and it's your passion. And it's honestly, let me tell you this, it's not going to be your perfection, but it's your progress that's going to allow a place like this to succeed. And I'm going to say that again, it's not about perfection. A lot of times I talk to young people and they say, oh, I got to get an A. I got to get an A, I got to get a 4.0, I have to be perfect because an employer or a college or a job won't want me unless I'm perfect. That is absolutely untrue. It's about your progress. and it's about resilience, and it's about perseverance, and sticking with the course, staying and coming back, bringing friends, walking that path of progress, but not perfection. The last thing I want to leave you with is something that was taught to me probably a little later than I would have liked it. But it's about pouring out. And I think as volunteers, as mentors, as students, we always want to pour out and give. And part of being able to give and pour out is the ability to also, sometimes at the same time, drink in. And when I look at a facility like this, when I look at what Mindsight is doing, they are really allowing you to drink in. Take the classes that you need. Get the help that you need with homework. Get what you need so that you can pour out into somebody else in this community, in your school, in your family, to be stronger. And I just really want to leave you with that, because when I look at facilities and youth training centers and some of the amazing work going on in education fields, sometimes folks get burnt out and you go, gosh, this is so much work, and oh, I have to sit here to do this, I have to do that. Make sure you're drinking in as you're pouring out, and that will make you whole. It will make you a better student. It will make you a better volunteer, and I'll tell you right now, it's going to make you a fantastic, fantastic career person, because that's how you stay balanced. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to welcome you all. I'm excited to be a part of the journey. I want to leave you with what you gave to me, which is an invitation. And so Joseph invited me here today. I want to invite you all, each and every one of you, to my house, the People's House. And when we open back up in Olympia, and Joseph, keep me to my word, every one of you is invited to come down and stand with me on the floor of the People's House. Okay? I will leave contact information, and as soon as we are open and it's safe, come down, get a tour, come to my office, but come stand with me on the floor of the People's House. You have invited me into your space, and I want to invite you into mine. Joseph, thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you. You hold that to the mic over.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Representative Burke. I want to pull in, I have one more thing for you to do, but before I do that, I want to pull in one of my board director to say thank you to,
Thank you so much. My name is Abdullahi Paul, and I'm one of the board members for Mindsight Mentors. I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much, Representative Burke, for taking the time and making the effort to be here. Out of your busy schedule, we really appreciate it. You have no idea how much we appreciate your presence here today. I just want to also just follow up, couple of things on what she said. I just want to emphasize that education is no one person or no one entity's responsibility. It is the responsibility of all. When I say all, the parents, the kids, the community members. We all have the responsibility to work together to make sure that our kids are educated, that our community is built in a way that would make our kids, the tomorrow leaders, to be better citizens and better people. So on that note, I just want to re-emphasize that please, put in the time to volunteer. Come in, utilize the center, utilize this facility is for you and it's for all of us. And thank you again, and thank you, Ryan, for actually being here with us. We appreciate it. Thanks.
Did you know that you are the first representative that we have ever invited to our event that showed up? So I can tell you, you have to just move around and do some moves around. But there's one thing I want you to do for me before I do my final thank you. I know that some of the people here don't need it, but it's a way for us to say thank you. And for that, we've got a couple of things here that I want to
we have some certificates of appreciation and also a certificate for the kids that completed the robotics program for staying the course. It's one thing to start, but then it's another thing to finish. Right? So we want to really reward the finish line sometimes, right? Can you all still hear me well? Okay, good. So with that, I'm going to call your name if you are here. If I know you who you are, I'm going to call your name. Please, when I do, please walk over here and receive your certificate so first of all, I'm going to start with the students. And these students are the students that really stayed because of the robotics program and really built it and understand it. So, Mariama Joe, are you here? All right, come in.
Mariam.
Right here. Just like take a picture with the representative here. You're blocking the camera. All right. Thank you. Congratulations. And we have two Mariamas. Mariama Jassy, you see here. Sister class? Okay. Sister. Then Alim Samate is our intern. Mr. Salah is not here, Mr. Fajab is not here. All right. I now want to go to the community awards. Like I said, some of you don't need these certificates, but it's really a way for us to say thank you for what you have done. I want to call on Abdul Jai. Please come over here. So, Abdul was the one who volunteered to teach the application Excel class to the parents last winter and last spring. All right. And we have Annie for you. Annie is the lead instructor of the robotics. She knows so much about this stuff. She travels with her dad every Saturday to come and teach the robotics class. All right, this one is going to sound a little bit funny, okay? Because who gives your boss a certificate, right? I want to call on Dan Foley to come on stage. So Dan is a director at Microsoft, a technical director. Him and I work in the same group, and he's my senior over there. And Dan is Annie's manager. And finally, I think I saw Mariama walking. Mariama Jassy, one of the students in the robotics class. You walk over here. Go over there. All right, so if you guys have together, we all come, we'll take a picture with representative before. I know she has to go, but can you all come back again? You know, it's a good exercise. Come on. Come on. Come back here. Let's do a picture.
Everyone with a certificate, come to the front.
Come in front. Michelle wants to come in.
I'm short.
I
I don't know about this too. All right.
No, let me cover the projector real quick.
Yeah, move that.
Take somebody.
Just turn it around.
I'll turn it for a second. All right, almost there. All right, everybody.
Mariam, if you can just move a little bit, you're behind there. Yes, okay. All right.
Should be good.
All right.
And one round of applause again to all of them. Thank you again. Thank you. And, one of
before you leave, Representative, I want to give an opportunity to one of our partners here. He has a few things that he wants to say. Want to welcome Pausman Ju, who is the Executive Director of Washington West African Council Center. Go ahead. You can use that.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. As Mr. Jase rightly mentioned, I am Pausman Ju, the founder and executive director of Washington West African Center, formerly the Gambian Talent Promotion. I am delighted to be here today. A few days ago, or last week sometimes, Mr. Jase reached out to me to discuss areas that we can collaborate in. It didn't take me a minute to invite him over to our office. He was there earlier in the week. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. We had a great conversation. I took him for a tour of the office, and I am not surprised that how he felt on that day is how I feel today. It was his first time coming to our office, and it is my first time coming here today. As I heard him deliberate, I see a lot of similarities in what we are doing. And I'll say, Mr. Jase, I'm very proud of you and your board for the wonderful job that you're doing. Their program mostly center on kids, where we provide services. The mission of the Washington West African Center is to connect West Africans in Washington with local resources and bridge the gap between us and the wider community. We've been doing quite a series of activities. Since COVID hit, we've provided grocery assistance, rental assistance, bill payment to our community members. We have a van that we use to transport people back and forth to medical appointments to different places. Our seniors, most of us brought our moms and our parents here. A lot of you, the kids sitting here, you interact with your grandmas at home. A lot of you, probably your grandmas don't speak English, including my mom. She just went back to Gambia after a year and a half. She couldn't speak English. So we provide adult literacy classes for you in our center, where the grandmas and other people who don't speak English can come on, so that they can interact with you, the kids. We have a back to school and grandma appreciation day coming up on the 4th of next month. You are all invited to that. It's going to be a wonderful program. We've been doing it for the past 5 years, where we support families with backpacks, school supplies. We have toys for kids anywhere from 3 years to 18 years. Lots of food from our community. So you are all invited to that event. We'll be giving computers, tablets, and other stuff for the families and kids. But this is all, the primary purpose of that event is to teach our kids the positive cultures from their parents' birth countries. A lot of you, your parents are from West Africa. You are born in America. You are Americans, but it's important that you know your culture. People are paying a lot of money to find out their roots. You will be able to have this for free of charge. So we'll have a trivia and quiz competition about your parents' birth countries, and by answering questions, simple questions, you will be able to get different prizes. So I think this is a wonderful thing that Mindsight is doing here. I want to say one thing about the importance of volunteering. Mr. Jase mentioned it. I want to encourage all of you, the kids and your parents, to volunteer. We have a similar program we are doing in Gambia, where we mentor and provide internship for young people. Right now, if any of you follow the Gambian media, a lot of the people who work in these media houses in Gambia learn their skills from our institution there. We train kids for free of charge, where in multimedia related skills, they graduate, and these are young people who probably didn't have an opportunity like you guys have. People who dropped out of school, people who tried to go to Europe through the Mediterranean Sea, the back way, people who never went to school, people who didn't have a formal education. They are the ones we give an opportunity, and by being part of those internship programs, they are able to have employment now, that they're doing so many things. Over here, our community members, 2 weeks ago, a lady called me and said, I had a ticket and I'm asked to do volunteer service. Unfortunately, I've not been volunteering. Can you write me a recommendation to say that I've been volunteering at your center? Unfortunately, it's not something I could do for her. I couldn't lie about it, but it is something that was needed. 2 months ago, somebody else called me who was trying to get a scholarship to go to college, to go to university, to learn cyber security. She needed recommendation from a community organization that shows that she volunteers in the community. When she called, she gave me a lot of excuses as to why she's not been volunteering and promised that moving on she's going to volunteer. Eventually, I wrote the recommendation, not because she volunteered, but because she has a need. Our community has a need for things like that, and I didn't lie in any way, shape, or form to say that, oh, you've been volunteering in our community, but I wrote the recommendation stating that courses like this are very rare in our community. Our women don't get into these type of fields a lot of times, and if she is to be given such an opportunity, that will help her to serve as a mentor and inspire younger kids in our community to get into this. She might get the opportunity. So it is important to volunteer, as Mr. Jazzy said. You may not know it, but as you grow older, you will have this. Myself, when I was in Atlanta, I used to volunteer for the Atlanta Gambia Emergency Relief Association, AGERA, that's the biggest organization there. And when I moved to Alaska, the job I was employed for immediately changed upon reaching the facility, because I was supposed to work for a non-profit organization that has just purchased a school that they needed to have programs for kids. Because of the activities and services I was providing AGERA, volunteering to train the kids over there, automatically my position changed. So volunteerism is very important, and I want to encourage all of you to volunteer. Finally, COVID-19 is real. We are doing COVID vaccine education. We want to encourage our community members to get vaccinated. Earlier you see Aliu and them giving you masks and sanitizers. It comes from us. We partner with the Washington Department of Health, all in Washington, and several organizations to provide vaccination. Through our efforts, about 1,500 of our community members have been vaccinated. We want to encourage all of you to take the vaccine. It is real, it's affecting people. It's important that we all get vaccinated, especially if we want to get back. Here I am talking, with the mask on. You could barely see my face, and all of us have face masks. Eventually, if we want to get rid of these face masks, and if we want to go back to our normal life, it is important that we all get vaccinated. So please, endeavor to get vaccinated. Kids 12 years and up can get vaccinated very soon, and it will be available to younger kids. There are a lot of rhetoric out there. Community leaders are taking it. A lot of us are your parents. If we can take it, we encourage you to not hesitate. When school resumes, I keep getting messages from the previous school district that kids 12 and up, if they are not vaccinated, they cannot return back to school. A lot of people who were hesitant to be vaccinated in the community, right now is a law, and the governor announced it, and I have a lot of parents calling me saying, we want to be vaccinated now because employers are making it mandatory. So before waiting till the last minute, please let's get vaccinated. I think this is a wonderful initiative. Mr. Jasel, Mr. Fallon is the first person that told me about Mindsight a couple of years ago. It's now that the partnership will start to work. We appreciate what you do for the community. Instead of fighting, it's good that we come together and work together to avoid duplicity, as you have said earlier, and to also complement each other's efforts. That's the only way out, and it's important that you brought people like her. They might not have known about our community. We've been left behind for the longest. You don't hear about us anywhere. When I sit with the representatives from the state or from the county or the cities, these are the type of things that come up in the conversation. About 2 months ago, I took the Linwood City Council to ICOPS with Mr. Fall and them at the masjid. We sat down and talked. They didn't even know that we have a masjid in Linwood, which is where we are located. They don't know we have businesses here. So it's important that we bring them into our midst to actually know what we are doing, and that way they can actually listen to us and hear us. Our voices should be heard because we are working and paying taxes. So thank you all for listening. I congratulate Mindsight once again, and we look forward to working with you. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gio. You have to leave, right? Okay, so maybe 2 more minutes. There's one more group leader that I want to recognize. He wants to say a few things. and this is the umbrella organizations of Gambians in this area. They're known as the Northwest Seattle Gambian Association. Been up and running for a very long time. So they have, you want to come and say a few things? So please join me in welcoming the Seattle Gambian Association Public Relations Officer. Again, for them too, this is the first time we are working with them because at the end of the day, we want to work together. So we invited them here so they see what we do, and maybe we can see how we can support each other. So, here you go.
Thank you. Yes, can you hear me? My name is Momu. I just joined the association as a public relations officer, so I'm kind of new, but I heard about this and I thought I should come over and represent. The Seattle Gambia Association is a non-profit whose main mission is to bring the community together. Basically, try to form a very strong and supportive community. Use those funds to provide support where needed. We do a lot of fundraisers, and this month that the funds that we get, we put it back into the community. I think Mindsight is a very great initiative. I work as a software engineer today, and a couple of things that come to mind is the tech industry is very competitive. If you want to get hired, you're basically going head to head with a lot of people. And sometimes one of the things that gets you ahead is the things that you do in the community. And not only that, if you're mentoring someone, you're basically teaching yourself something. You kind of have to learn something and then teach someone else how to do it, reinforcing your own knowledge there. So like everyone is saying, I think the volunteering and the mentorship is very important for the mentors themselves, as well as the mentees, of course, but the people, the person mentoring is also learning, and you can put this on your resume and it will help you. And also, I also know that it works. I work for Oracle, like I said, and sometimes big companies tend to hire engineers who they can hire today and they're ready to go right away, but sometimes we can hire junior engineers, and because we believe that they can have a mentor who can get them up and running in the very near future. We believe in the mentorship program actually works. So we can hire junior engineers and we'll give them a mentor, and within a few months they know what they're doing. So I think this works, and but like everyone said, we need to have volunteers to actually make it happen. I do believe that the association, the Seattle Gambia Association, can do something in trying to make this program a success, and we will see how to make that happen. We'll work with Mindsight and see what the association can do to make it happen. But I call on the students. For this to work, we also need to have students to participate. We need to pick somebody, right? So the students should come out, and also we need volunteers to actually help out. So thank you very much. We look forward to working with you.
All right, thank you so much for those comments. I would want to finally say thank you to Representative Grant. She is way over her time that she was supposed to be with us, and I know she has a very busy schedule. I know this will not be the first time. I know we will take on the offer to come to Olympia when things are settled. I've never been to Olympia, so this will be my first time, you see? And I will definitely do that. I'll follow up with your staff. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, please help me in saying one more time, round of applause to Representative Grant. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. I'll be in touch. All right.
Thank you.
All right. That was supposed to be the community. So before we get into the raffle,
I have some questions. I want to open it up a little bit for some conversations. I mean, we have said so much already, right? We've been talking, you've all been listening. And I wonder whether some of you have some questions or some thoughts, or whether you have some reaction to what we have been doing, to what we have been saying, to everything we talked about, the volunteers and the students. Anybody has any questions, any reaction, anything you want to say before we move on to the raffle? Please raise your hand if you have anything to say. So I will pause just for a minute. If you have anything to say, questions, please raise your hand and we'll give you the microphone. All right, anybody? Anybody willing to say anything? Anybody ready to say anything? No? Okay. So we'll get into the raffle time, okay? Now here's how this is going to work. Anybody that has donated is in the system already. We're going to give you your raffle ticket. You're going to hold on to that. And we'll have one of these kids come and dip their hand into the bucket. And then whoever wins gets an iPhone phone. How exciting is that? You think you're going to win? No? You don't think so? Okay, it's a try, you know? If you don't, no. All right, so we'll take a little break. We'll give it 5 more minutes for people that want to do that. And we will also be putting the names and giving them the raffle tickets. So if anybody is here that is wanting to donate $25 to get a raffle ticket, this is the time to do it. This is your last chance to do it. And we will do that, and then we'll have our snacks. We have some snacks here that we're gonna that we'll be giving out very shortly. So please don't move. Hey.
Look up.
So, Mariano,
I think it's
Are you sure? Wow. You're not saying phone.
So go to Mindsight.
We got $50 raised. Okay, we have another 20 here from Anijao. Do you want to make a spreadsheet and put people down and give them cash?
no, yeah, cash, yeah. We'll put it in. They give it cash. We put it up.
Okay.
So we'll go to mindsightmentors.org.
All right.
All right, guys. Here's how to donate. If you want to donate for the raffle, just go to the website and then click on donate. All right. When you click on donate, you select $25, and then you put Mariam Joe. Are you doing it now, Mariam? You're doing it? Okay. Okay. So when you do it, you should see your name on it. Did somebody give you? Okay, then put something like that. So you can get it as long as you got your first and last name and phone number. So if you just go to our website and enter mindsightmentors.org, click donate, you put in $25. We're going to start the raffle for, man, I don't know who's going to be the lucky person today, but somebody's going to go home with a brand new iPhone. iPhone 12, this is the latest. So, and by the way, we also just received a donation from our volunteers, Dan Foley and his daughter. Thank you so much. They don't want the iPhone, they just wanted to donate, so thank you for that. All right, so Abraham, let me know when you're done. Let me know when you are done, and we'll go print the names and then enter them into the raffle bucket. So, AJ, let's do this. I'm not writing here to see all the names on the printer. So let me write.
Oh, assalamu alaikum. Oh, sa doom bi la? Yeah, I recognize her. Na nga def? Naka sa jëkkër ak xale ba dafa indi la? Yeah, very good. Papa, na nga def? Alhamdulillah. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Nga xamee woo na ngeen def waa def leen dara yàlla rek no I'm not trying to donate. Are you trying to donate? Okay, but put your hand down. Lower that's the event. When I interview you, lower the event. No, I don't know.
We're seeing some names. We're going to print this out shortly. Some of the things. If you have not been there before, it is very, very easy to find the class that you want and register. And starting tomorrow, we're going to add more classes in there, okay? So when you go to our website, mindsightmentors.org, and you click on events, when you go to events, you will see what we have there, okay?
this event that we just concluded today is listed right here. Right? Here is the girls who code. All of you, the girls who attended today, we promise you're going to register. So when you go in there, find the girls who code and click register. When you click on that, you will submit your name and we will be in touch. Now if you scroll down, you will see another event called Build a Robot. If you are interested in learning how to build a robot, just like what you saw earlier, you simply click register. Okay? If you're interested in how to build a resume, because we know that is important for your work, it's important when you're applying to college, simply click on register. It's that simple. So that's how we use our website to register for events. Okay? So we encourage all of you, Mariam, I saw your registration. You're interested in the Girls Who Code. I saw that and Leaves Order, so that's good. So while you're still waiting for time, please go ahead and register for the class that you want. Are we ready? Okay. Are we ready to close the raffle? Right? Are we ready to close the raffle? Anybody? Are you guys? You guys good? Okay. You guys good? Can we close the raffle? Okay. What about you guys? Can we close? All right. You sure? You good too? Can we close? All right. What does it say? Okay. Yeah, let's just come in. Remember the categories I was describing earlier, the people who donated and where they fall? You all remember? Well, guess what? We just got a check for $2,000. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We just got a check for $2,000 from no other than Ibrahima Wada Enterprises. Yes, Ibrahima Wada. And you know, 2 years ago, they gave us another check for $2,500. So this guy has been an advocate, a supporter of the community, and we're very grateful. I said I was going to do this. He said, no, don't announce it. I said, no, this is my show. I got to do what I want to do. So please join me in thanking Ibrahima Wada for this $2,000. We can go applaud. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it, Mr. Wada. All right. I'm going to give this back to finance guy. All right. So we are almost done with this, and we will print it. Did it go through? Anybody has any questions on how to find our programs and how to register? Raise your hand. All right. The other thing that we need from the community is we talked about so many things that we want to do here. Does anybody have any ideas or suggestions about what else we could do? Anybody have any ideas or suggestions of what else we could do here? Yeah, go ahead. Somebody here, have a microphone. So, if I could get your attention, please. I was going to ask how someone with certain expertise, how could they offer to have a workshop where they can have students and they can teach students something. So you have workshops with them. Maybe something about the networking, like engineering. how do you connect the devices to talk to each other? Okay? Yeah, that's a good question. So the question is, how does somebody who wants to, how does somebody go about offering a class in an area of expertise, right? Okay, so that's good. So one thing we encourage people to do is sign up to volunteer. Next week, we have 2 people that have signed up to volunteer. So we're going to schedule a meeting with them to find out what it is that they want to volunteer. Okay? And then we begin to ideate whether we have, we can create a registration for that, see whether we can gauge interest, and then also have them start working on the curriculum and how, what they want to teach, what they want to get out of it, and then we'll publish that. So that's how we go about finding and getting interest. So if you're interested in doing that, so simply go to the website and register to volunteer, and then we'll get you to a meeting. Does that answer the question? Okay, good. All right, anybody else have any questions or any ideas of what we can do here? We talked about how the kids can use this, how the parents can use this, how we intend to use this, but we know there are more ideas. So if you have any ideas or suggestions or questions, simply let us know, and we can, we can incorporate that into the process. Okay? All right. Who has the next question? Anybody have any questions or any ideas? Anybody has any questions or any ideas? All right. So AJ, are you ready to proceed?
I was going to say something.
Huh?
Yes, we have the list.
A little? Okay. Somebody wants to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people are working from home, and I was wondering if this facility could actually be used to actually accommodate people who want to work from home, or they can work from their houses. They can just make and work from here. Like a work from home location on days that it's available.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because we have to, I guess that's not something we consider. If it is like training related, things like that, but somebody cannot use it as their office to work from home. I mean, I am here trying to fix things, and occasionally I do connect to my office, during my break. We haven't thought about that, so that's maybe something we can consider. All right, anybody else have any questions? Any ideas? All right, AJ, did you say you're ready?
Yes, we have the order.
You have the... Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You guys want to do it over here, you want to do it over there? Whatever you want to do. Okay, so Abdul Rami is a finance director, so anything that has to do with money, that's him. So we'll figure out what he's going to do. And we will, so wait for your name, they'll call your name, based on the number of dollars you contributed, they will give you the number of tickets. All right, in the meantime, I'm going to go into
in your site.
And then finally, again, parents. Some of you don't use computers all the time, so we don't expect you to remember. But it is very critical now that everybody is reskilling. Learning how to do Excel, learning how to do PowerPoint, learning how to do Word. Because those skills are things that you will not find anywhere. But we have people that are willing to train. So I encourage you to truly consider those and sign up. It's free. It's free. It doesn't have to be in person. We can do them virtually. The last Excel class we did was completely virtual. And finally, for the community, like I said before, if you guys, anybody in the community wants to use this center for an activity, you can do that. We just book it. All we ask for is donate something just to help us maintain the place. So if you have a meeting, if you have a workshop, feel free. And for the people that
donated above, like the 2,000 plus, they have this facility to use for whatever they want, 3 times a year, right? Like we just received that $2,000 donation from Ibrahim Awad. I was just telling him, hey, look, you could use this facility for anything you want, because that really helps us. So those are some of the things that we want to remind all of you, that the center is ready for use. We're going to start. The classes are published. Go out, sign up, send us ideas, questions, suggestions, and together we can make a difference. And in closing, thanks again for coming. You know where the center is. I expect you to share this with your friends and families and networks. If you have connections with other communities that are non-Gambians in the area, please let us know. We want to reach out to them as well. We want to make sure that the center is accessible to anybody who wants to use it. Although our primary focus is minorities, but we live in an inclusive society. So we have to make this center available to everyone. Most of you recall, we used to be called Mentally Gambian. Right? That's what we used to be called. But that was not inclusive. Okay? So we changed the name to Mindsight Mentors to be more inclusive. So that's very, very important to us. And with that, I would, I'll do correct comments. Good. Thank you for reminding me that. Earlier we mentioned the partnership we are striking with Gambia Talent Promotion and West African, Washington's West African Center. They have a Go Back to School event. We're going to be there. I've never been to one. This will be my first one. September 4th. It's going to be at the
Willis Tucker Park.
Okay, where?
Willis Tucker Community Park.
Okay, Willis Tucker Community Park. So I think some of you know where that is. Well, I will be posting the centering material. I'm going to post it in the community as well. I encourage you to go over there. The back to school is really, they provide a lot of supplies to kids, materials, and a lot of other fun activities. So we encourage you to try and join us on the 4th of September. We're going to be there as well, trying to recruit students to join and enroll in our classes. All right? And with that, I want to thank you all again for coming. You have no idea what this means to me and the board of directors and the team as well. We want to thank you again. And get some snacks, and if you have any questions, we'll be around. Otherwise, we're going to consider the event closed. But get your snacks first before you go. So, Abdurrahman, I don't know how you want to proceed with the snacks.
Yeah, we have all of them. So
you want?
We can, you can just grab anything you want. I think we have all of them.
But they're not open though. They're not ready.
Oh yeah, that's fine. We'll open them. We'll
Okay. So all right. So Abdurrahman, Abdul Karim will take care of the snacks, and I'll be around just to say thank you to some of you that have been here, as well as answer any questions you may have. All right. Thanks again for coming, everyone.
So how do you feel, Mr. Jase, after the event?
Well, it was, thanks. Well, yeah, it was a very successful event. Thank you for coming, and thank you for all the partnership and all the material that you, let us use for the event, and looking forward to reciprocate. Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. What message do you have for the community?
Well, it is very simple. We want the community to leverage these resources that we have for them. Basically, what we're trying to do is find a way to help the young kids be more successful, connect them, but also partnering to see how we can do that. Well, I want the community to take complete advantage of this, both the kids, the parents, and everybody else. It really takes a community to make this happen. And we didn't have this before. Now we have it. We have a location where people can come and do things. So, I mean, right now we just have to go all out and encourage the community to help us get it done.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you again. I truly appreciate
Gambia Talents. I appreciate Washington
West African
Center. And looking forward to seeing how we can help you too. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Got you right there. So what is your name?
Aliu Samare.
Aliu Samare. What is your connection to Mindsight?
Currently, I'm the IT support intern. Just started a month ago, and I've already gotten some good experience already.
Okay. Was it difficult to get into Mindsight?
No, they're very welcoming. They want the young youth who can shape the future and become the futures of tomorrow. So I definitely say they're very open to anybody.
Okay. Well, that's good. So what message do you have for the youth?
My message for the youth is that we are the future, and the way I see it is that we have to step up. Somebody's got to do it. Make the community a better place, the environment. Make sure the next generation can have it good as well as we have gotten that opportunity, and just step up. I encourage anyone who's young and able to look into the future and see what you can do to help out everywhere around you. So that's what I would say.
Thank you, Adam.
So imagine $25, you get a chance to win this. So we'll see who the lucky one is. It could be you. So if you want to donate right now, you could donate right now. And you simply go to
bukan waringe si million sa jupae kungangar am pikireti coronavirus kwa ka sumut kan manje bajuta nil bajuta nine bajuta nifa bajuta nine bajuta stek buk kaka ko sumut kan manje bukana tuku gore barne baj ke bare sumu yene tere gudi ko sumut kati coronavirus tate ten tembe nyaaji baj pikireti ko nem vacciner manje annonce na warna pour mana janga yo bangola tanka fanga fa ko sumut kati covid-19.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Penmore Physiotherapy and Rehabilitation Clinic is the first of its kind in the Gambia. We have inpatient service and outpatient services. Penmore admits patients and they have intensive rehabilitations. That means treatment 3 times a day for 5 days, from Mondays to Friday, and on Fridays they go to their families to spend time with them to have family. Our patients come on regular appointments, probably 2 or 3 times in a week for treatment. We treat patients with arthritis, with back pain, stroke patients, fractures or after fracture operation, paralysis of all types, and we do treat both young and old patients. Penmore Physiotherapy gives quality physiotherapy treatments to Gambians because we are qualified physios from different parts of the world.